Go.
Hi, my name is Joel, and this is our video for the Axial skeleton. Alright, so I accidentally dropped him, so his head doesn't stay on, so I'm gonna hold it for a little bit, okay? So first bone is the frontal bone, okay? So if you have it here, so this is the frontal bone. And then we have the parietal bone, which is the two sides. So it looks like this, parietal bone. Two sides, and then we have the occipital bone, which is actually, I could probably do it like this, the whole backbone here. That's the occipital bone, and then after that, okay, we have the external occipital protuberance. And what is it for? So that is this little bump here, and it is where a muscle attaches that keeps our head upright and allows us to tilt backwards. Okay, so it attaches right here. There's a little bump. After that, we have the temporal mandibular joint, which of course right there, mandibular joint. So that's where it goes together, right there in the middle, inside. I don't know if you can see it, right there, right there. And then we got the mastoid process. Mastoid process, which is, I believe, is this one right there. Right there. And after that, we have the styloid process. Styloid process. I believe that is. Let me see. Styloid process. Yeah, I think the styloid process is here. Styloid process. Right here. It's a little bone coming out. It's nice and sharp. And after that, we have the external acoustic meatus, and that's the hole right there, right there. And then last one is squamous part, which it goes in the temporal. So this is temporal, and it's right here, from what I saw from the book. The petrous part of the temporal bone, internal view, is right here. Sort of kind of where your ear will go, right here. And then we have the internal acoustic meatus, so which is right here, little hole right there, right here. And what goes through it is the vestibulocochlear nerve, the facial nerve, and the labyrinthine artery. And then we have an external view of the sphenoid, which is right here, right here, sphenoid. And then we have an external view of the superior orbital fissure, which is inside there. So, and then right here. And what passes through it is the superior optical vein, the lacrimal nerve, the frontal nerve, the trochlear nerve, the abducent nerve, ocular motor nerve, and nasociliary nerve. After that, we have an internal view of the sphenoid, which again we said is here, but the internal view is here with the lesser wing here and the greater wing here. I don't know if you can see. So the whole thing, but this is the lesser wing and the greater wing with the optical canal through there. And then what goes through the optical canal is the optic nerve and the ophthalmic artery. Then we have the sella turcica, which sits in this right here. This also right here, where the pituitary gland is at. Okay, so now we're looking for the ethmoid bone externally, which is, I'm trying this guys, right here, right there on the bottom, or right here. So we have lacrimal here, but ethmoid is right there. And then internally consists of, let's see if I get some light here, maybe this way. Let me see. There we go. So he is facing down, so he's prone. All right, so we have the crista galli, which is what secures the brain in place, and it's this this thing protruding outside, up, I mean. And then we have the creamiform plate, which is actually almost this whole thing here, this one. And it has a bunch of little holes that let the olfactory nerves pass to the smell receptors in the nose to the brain, of course. So right here. And then we have the sutures. So here's a little guy. All right, so I'll bring him up like this a little bit so you can see it. Oh man, I think I broke it. Okay, so we have the coronal suture, which is this one, made up by the frontal and the parietal. And then we have the sagittal, which is this one, made by the parietal. I would say also the frontal technically, because I mean the frontal was making it stop. And then we have parietal bones making the sagittal. Then we have the lambdoid, making by the coccyx. The occipital, made by the occipital. Right here. So let me see if I can get that. There you go. Hold it like this. So it's this one right there, which is the lambdoid, made by the occipital, and by the parietal. And then we have the squamous suture, which was a little hard to find because this guy doesn't have it, but you can kind of see it's made by the temporal brain and the parietal. So it's this one going, I'm gonna draw it in a little more. So it's like kind of going like this. This one is like too. So that is the squamous. Okay, so now we're gonna be talking about the facial bones. So we have the maxilla, which is right here. And then we have the alveolar process, which is kind of like the teeth area, bottom part. And then we have the nasal bone, which is right here. Or the outline for you guys. And it has a zygomatic, so that is pretty much right here, the cheekbone. And what two bones form the zygomatic arch, which would be the sigmoid, and the sigmoid process and the temporal. Ooh, the temporal. And then we have the ethmoid, which is inside here. We showed it before, inside. After the ethmoid, we have the vomer, which is here, kind of like in the middle. And what two bones form the body nasal septum, which I believe is the vomer, and the maxilla, because it kind of goes all the way up here, so right here. Then we have the inferior nasal concha, which is inside here. You can't really see it, but it's in there, a little piece. And what does this bone do? Okay, it forms part of the lateral walls of the nasal cavity inside there. Then we have the mandible here. So mandible is gonna be this whole bottom part. The body is the actual here, body. And then we have the angle right there. And then the ramus here. And then the mandibular condyle with the mandibular notch right here, this little arch, and the coronoid process, which is right here.